Hammer Studios were able to rejuvenate their brand image with the publishing of The Woman in Black. They were once regarded as a major power in creating and developing a host of iconic films including The Mummy, Frankenstein and The Wolfman. They had been dormant in film since 1979. However, they returned under new backing in 2007. The ghost story The Woman in Black follows the travails of a prosperous young lawyer called Arthur Kipps, who is played by the well-known Daniel Radcliffe. Our first encounter with Kipps is when he is locked in desperation since his wife's death in childbirth and has been sent by his family to a remote village to speed up the sale of a house that locals believe to be inhabited by a vengeful spirit of a woman who shortly after her son died took her own life. Since the suicide, horrific deaths involving residents' children have followed. The residents, somewhat unsurprisingly, do not take to Arthur's arrival and stirring up the past horrors too kindly and do everything in their power to send him back to London. However, Arthur is not intent of being scared off and finds allies in a wealthy, forward-thinking couple played by Ciarán Hinds and recent Oscar nominee Janet McTeer, who take some badly needed gravitas to the proceedings, themselves having lost a child. Yet no sooner has Arthur opted to stay at the dreaded Eelmarsh house, rather unconventionally located in marshes only linked to the mainland by a long causeway that spends much of the movie is covered over by the tide trapping our faithful Mr. Kipps. Then the local children start perishing, apparently by their own hand. To make matters worse, Arthur's time at Eelmarsh is blighted by ghastly apparitions and the most hideously creepy array of children's toys I have seen in quite some time. It's a movie soaked in atmosphere, the award-winning setting suitably chilly for the tale of ghosts that go bump in the night. Director James Watkins knows how to build up an atmosphere of dread peppering the movie with the occasional heart-stopping scare. It's the kind of horror where the antagonist, the title, The Woman in Black, appears only in the background, her horrifically haggard image blurred until close the end. It's a relatively effective cat-and-mouse affair with Kipps, wandering the house at night with various creaking, bumping and rocking noises in the background along the occasional reveal of his tormentor. It highlights the conventions of similar horror films from Hammer's previous work. Watkins takes care in building tension to a palpable level before a swift release rather than going for a cheap boom moment. As a result, this is not an overly frightening movie, but a creepy one. Daniel Radcliffe plays our ear and eye so that the audience gains his perspective, and this reinforces the genre. He acquits himself perfectly fine as a young lawyer, perhaps a few years too young for the part. He imbues Arthur with enough melancholy to maintain our sympathy and interest whilst doing a fine job wandering around Eelmarsh House, looking increasingly strained and eventually flat out terrified. But no means a heavyweight horror. There's still enough to recommend The Woman in Black to horror enthusiasts, such as the target audience of our media product, Hunted.